All right, so you're ready to level up your business game, right? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep, and get this, just one source.
Buckle up because we are unpacking a treasure chest of wisdom, all from Alex Harmozi's video.
Oh, I love this guy. 13 years of no BS business advice in 79 minutes.
You got it. 79 minutes packed with advice from a guy who's built multiple eight-figure businesses.
And now he's pulling in, wait for it, over $17 million a month.
He's not just talking the talk.
No, he is walking that walk for sure. And he dives into some really interesting stuff. Like right off the bat, he hits you with this expensive anchor idea.
Love that one.
Have you ever thought about offering something super premium, like way more expensive than anything else you offer?
Even if you never actually plan to sell it.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds kind of crazy, right?
Sounds counterintuitive, but it's all about psychology.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Think about it. How do we judge value? It's often relative, right? Like, that mid-priced bottle of wine at a restaurant suddenly seems like a steal when there's one on the menu for like $500.
Oh, I totally do that.
That's the expensive anchor at work.
Makes sense. Suddenly, my regular package seems like a bargain.
Exactly. And it's not just perception. It can help you overcome the fear of raising prices, too.
Oh, tell me more about that.
When you have that anchor at the top, bumping up the price of your core offerings, it doesn't feel so scary anymore.
It gives you permission, almost.
Right. Because even if someone's not willing to splurge on the high-end option, they're more likely to consider your other offerings, which now seem more reasonable in comparison.
It's all about framing.
He actually gives this great example, a weight loss business that tripled their profits overnight.
What? Sweet.
Yeah. Just by adding a premium coaching package, they never even expected to sell it, just shifted the perception of value.
Wow. See, this is why we listen to Alex Harmozi. Okay, so we've anchored our prices, but how do we make sure potential customers even know about our awesome offer?
Relentless advertising, my friend. He tells this story even with his massive online presence.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
He was meeting people who had no clue he had a book coming out.
It's like you can't just say it once and expect everyone to remember, right?
It's like we're drowning in information these days. We tune things out.
So true. It's overwhelming.
Exactly. Consistent advertising is key.
Okay, so how do we break through the noise? What does he recommend?
Simple frameworks, actionable steps.
Give me the goods.
The 4x4 rule.
Okay, what's that?
4 hours each day, dedicated to 4 key activities. One-on-one outreach, content creation, running ads, and direct outreach to new people.
4 hours is a lot, but if it's focused.
Right. Not busy work, high-impact tasks.
So it's about consistency and strategy.
And it builds on itself. He's also got the rule of 100.
Okay, love a good rule. Lay it on me.
100 minutes on content, or 100 outreach attempts, or $100 on ads every single day.
I'm sensing a theme here. Showing up consistently, building momentum.
Exactly. And this next one might sound counterintuitive. He's a big believer in focusing on just one thing until you hit $100,000 a month.
Wait, one thing, as in one product, one channel,
one ideal customer. No diversifying, just laser focus until you reach that revenue target.
It feels so different from all the side hustle, multiple income streams advice out there.
It might feel counterintuitive, but it's about mastering your craft before branching out.
So instead of being okay at a bunch of things, you become amazing at one thing.
It's like you wouldn't run a marathon before you can even walk, right?
Okay, so you build that solid foundation first, then you start adding on.
Exactly. Once you've nailed it, then you think about expanding, scaling.
Makes sense. Build that strong base. Speaking of expanding, let's talk about something that I think makes a lot of entrepreneurs nervous. Starting for free.
Yeah, it can feel counterintuitive.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like, why give away what you've worked so hard to create, right? But Harmozi actually makes a really compelling case for it. So break it down for me. What's the logic here?
Think of it like this. Instead of a giveaway, it's an investment.
Okay, like that. An investment in what?
In those early testimonials. You're building social proof, which is huge in today's world.
Because nothing is more powerful than seeing real people rave about what you offer.
Right. It builds trust like nothing else. And think about it. When people love something, what do?
Tell everyone.
Exactly. Free offerings, they're like word-of-mouth marketing gold.
Word of mouth is the best kind of marketing, that's for sure.
And on top of that, you're creating a pipeline.
A pipeline? Of what?
Of future paying customers.
Yeah.
Someone tries your thing for free, they love it, they're way more likely to become a paying customer later on.
It's like that try before you buy, but for everything.
Exactly. He's implemented this at all levels of his businesses, from way back when he was a personal trainer, all the way up to his multi-million-dollar companies today.
Wow, so he really walks the walk with that one.
He does. He gives some great examples in the video.
Okay, I'm convinced. Sometimes giving something away for free is actually the best way to get paying customers. All right, let's talk about proof, because Harmozi is all about how proof trumps promises, especially for new businesses.
Especially when you're trying to build that credibility.
Absolutely, because in the beginning, you don't have that track record yet, right? So how do you get people to trust you enough to take a chance on you?
He asks this great question. Would you rather have someone tell you how great their offer is? Or would you rather see 1,000 testimonials from people just like you raving about their results?
Ooh, 1,000 testimonials for sure.
It's a no-brainer.
So how do you make sure those testimonials really hit home? Like, what makes a testimonial truly compelling?
He breaks it down into 4 key things: recency, visuals, volume, and starting with the customer's pain point.
Okay, break those down for me.
So recent testimonials build credibility.
Of course, nobody wants to see a testimonial from 5 years ago.
Exactly. Visuals, they make it real, engaging.
People connect with visuals.
Volume creates social validation.
It's like, if that many people loved it, it must be good, right?
Right. And starting with the pain point, that hooks people in right away.
So it's about painting a picture, right? Like, I used to struggle with this problem, but then I found your solution.
Exactly. You've shown potential customers that others just like them have had success, and you've done it in a way that's both credible and engaging.
Powerful combination.
Okay, so we've got testimonials, we're starting for free, we've anchored our prices. What's next on our list of entrepreneurial must-dos?
All right, are you ready for this one? It's time to talk about raising prices.
Ooh, the dreaded price increase. That's always a little scary, right?
It can be.
Yeah.
But he shares the story about doubling a product's price.
Doubling.
Yeah, doubling it. And guess what happened? They tripled their profits.
Wait, they doubled the price, had fewer customers, and still made more money. How is that even possible? Margins, my friend. The cost of producing the product was low, so even with fewer sales, the higher profit margin led to way more profit overall.
So it's not just about selling more, it's about what you're making on each sale.
And sometimes a higher price actually makes your product seem more valuable.
Makes sense. People associate higher prices with higher quality.
Exactly. And here's another thing to consider: inflation. If you're not adjusting your prices, you're actually losing money over time.
Because the value of the dollar is constantly changing.
He uses this example. $79 in 2017 is the equivalent of about $100 today. Think about how many businesses haven't touched their pricing in years.
That's a great point. So you could be charging the same as you were a few years ago, but actually be earning less
Yeah.
because the value of that money has gone down.
Exactly. He brings up Warren Buffett, his strategy with See's Candies.
Oh yeah, they're known for raising their prices.
Consistently for over 50 years, sometimes by a lot, like 177% in a single year.
And people still buy their candy because they've built that brand, that association with quality.
Exactly. Price becomes less of a factor when you have that.
So how do we actually raise prices without freaking out our customers?
Communication is key. He suggests an email explaining the why behind the increase, any added benefits.
So you're not just saying, hey, pay more now.
Right. You're giving context, and here's a good tip: grandfathering existing customers at their current rate for a limited time.
Oh, I like that. It's like a thank you for being a loyal customer.
Exactly. And of course, track your conversion rates. You might see a dip at first, but if your value is solid, those numbers should stabilize.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to take the plunge.
You do. Now, amidst all this talk about pricing and testimonials and all that, he also emphasizes something so simple, so often overlooked: talking to your customers.
Oh, I love that. It's so easy to get caught up in the online world and forget that there are actual humans on the other side of those screens.
He's a huge advocate for it, picking up the phone, having those one-on-one conversations. He says he learned more from his early years selling $10 gym memberships face-to-face than he ever could have from a book.
There's nothing quite like that human connection, right? Hearing those questions, those objections, that excitement firsthand.
He even shares that his company, School.com, they host these events where top-performing users get to spend a day with him and the other owner, giving feedback, sharing insights.
Wow. Talk about building relationships. That's incredible.
Right. Your customers are your greatest asset. They can give you incredible insights to refine your marketing, your pricing, your product development.
It's all connected, so we've got to be sure we're listening.
Absolutely. And he has this great framework, the closer framework. for structuring sales conversations.
Okay, I am always here for a good framework. Lay it on me.
Yeah.
What is the closer framework all about?
It's all about guiding those prospects seamlessly from that initial hello to a confident yes.
Music to my ears. All right, walk me through it. What's step one?
C, clarify. You start by clarifying why they're there, what action did they take, what problem are they trying to solve.
Okay, so you're setting the context.
Exactly. Then L for label. You label their problem, show them you've been listening. You might say something like, it sounds like you're really frustrated with X, and you're looking for a solution that will help you achieve Y, am I right?
You're acknowledging their pain point, showing them you get it.
Exactly. Then it's O for overview. Discuss their past experiences, what have they tried, what were the outcomes,
You understanding their journey.
and subtly highlighting the cost of inaction.
Ah, smart. Okay, what's next?
S, sell the vacation, not the plane flight.
I love that. What does that even mean?
Focus on the end result, the transformation, not the technical detail.
Oh, paint a picture of their dream life.
Then E, explain away concerns. Proactively address any objections they might have.
Objections are just requests for more information, right?
Exactly. Address them head on, build trust.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've clarified, labeled, overviewed, sold the dream, explained away concerns. What's the final step?
R for reinforce. They've committed. Great. Reinforce their decision. Outline next steps. Set clear expectations, and then over-deliver.
Because that follow-through is everything. It's all about exceeding expectations.
He also talks about scaling, says, do 10 times more of what's already working before trying something new.
Interesting. So don't reinvent the wheel, just make it bigger and better.
He says entrepreneurs get stuck chasing shiny objects, jumping between tactics instead of maximizing what's already working.
It's like that saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right, exactly. It's about pushing past that comfort zone, even when it's hard.
So what was his one thing, the thing he did 10 times more of?
It varied depending on the business, but the point is, it addressed a fundamental challenge, a bottleneck. Once solved, everything else fell into place.
It's like finding that one domino that, when you tip it, sets off a chain reaction.
He wants entrepreneurs to hone in on that one area where their effort will have the biggest impact.
Easier said than done, right? How do you even identify that one thing?
Analyze your data, talk to your customers, get really clear on what's moving the needle and what's not, find that leverage point.
And then double down, even when it gets tough.
He says most of entrepreneurship is eating glass.
Ouch, that's a visual.
Yeah.
But I get it, it's not always easy, but the rewards can be huge.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Build a team, foster a culture of excellence.
All right, let's talk about building that dream team. What insights does Harmozi have for us on that front? All right, so dream team time. Hit me with Harmozi's wisdom on building a team.
He's got this analogy about stress. Says growth is stressful, stagnation is stressful, even decline is stressful. Basically, running a business is stressful.
No escaping it, right? Might as well embrace it.
Exactly. It's not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's just part of the game.
Like, I bet the problems we were stressing about a few years ago seem tiny now.
Right. Not because they weren't real challenges then, but we've grown. Our capacity for handling stress, it's expanded.
Love that. Our stress tolerance levels up right alongside our businesses.
Now, he also talks about this look-back window. It's how customers judge their experience.
Okay, tell me more about this look-back window.
It's not about the entire history of the relationship. It's about the most recent interaction.
Oh, 100%. Like, one bad meal at your favorite restaurant, suddenly you're questioning everything.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Businesses can use this to their advantage. He suggests extending the time between billing cycles.
So instead of monthly billing, go quarterly or even annually.
It can smooth out those bumps in the road. A customer has a less than stellar experience 1 month. It's less likely to overshadow the value they've received over a longer period.
And it helps with cash flow, too. More predictable income.
Exactly. Okay, back to the dream team. One of my favorite pieces of advice from him is about who to put in charge.
Okay, who's it gotta be?
The person with the highest standard.
Interesting. So not about seniority or who's been there the longest.
Nope, it's about who sets the bar high, who inspires everyone else to rise to the occasion.
Because you want a team that pushes each other to be better, right?
And then he takes it a step further, says you should hire people who raise the average bar of the entire team.
So constantly be on the lookout for A players. People who challenge the status quo.
Absolutely. Now, this doesn't mean fire everyone and start over.
That would be chaotic.
But it does mean having honest conversations, giving clear feedback, and sometimes that means someone might need to step out to make space for someone who can help take the team to the next level.
Tough conversations, but sometimes they're necessary for growth.
And when it comes to managing a team, he gives 5 reasons why someone might not be doing what you need them to do.
Okay, this is good. I feel like this happens all the time. What's reason number 1?
They don't know you wanted them to do it in the first place. Clear communication is key.
Oh, so true. It's like we assume everyone is on the same page, but that's not always the case.
Right. Second, they might not know how W do it, so training, development, that's crucial.
Makes sense. Set those clear expectations, and then given the tools to meet those expectations, what are the other 3 reasons?
3, they might not know when you want it done. Deadlines, deadlines, deadlines.
Deadlines are a must. Okay, what else?
4, motivation. They might not be motivated to do it. Figure out what makes your team tick. Recognition, autonomy, feeling valued.
It's about creating that positive work environment, right?
Yeah.
Where people feel good about showing up and doing their best work.
And finally, number 5, something might be blocking them. Lack of resources, a tech issue, who knows?
Even something small, like a slow internet connection, can really throw a wrench in the works.
Exactly. Your job as a leader. Identify and remove those roadblocks.
So talk to your team, figure out what's holding them back, and then clear the path for them to succeed.
It all comes back to communication. Just like with your customers, talk to your team, really listen to what they have to say.
Okay, so we've talked about stress, the look-back window, building a dream team, managing that team. What else does Harmozi have up his sleeve?
All right, get ready for this one. It's about selling sawdust.
Selling sawdust. Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Break that down for me.
So picture a lumber mill, right? They're cutting down trees, sawing them into planks. What happens to all the sawdust?
Traditionally, it just gets swept up and thrown away, right?
Exactly. Waste product. But some smart entrepreneurs realize, hey, this sawdust, it's still valuable. They started using it to make particle board, fuel pellets, all sorts of things.
Turned a byproduct into a profit center? That's amazing.
And that's what Harmozi wants us to do, find the sawdust in our own businesses.
The underutilized resources, the hidden opportunities.
Like, he gives an example of a gym he owned, sat empty for a good chunk of the day.
Prime real estate, just sitting there doing nothing. Yep, I see where this is going.
He started renting it out to other fitness instructors, sports teams, created a whole new revenue stream.
Genius. But how do we even begin to identify the sawdust in our own businesses? It's not always obvious.
Start by taking inventory. What talents does your team have? Any equipment or tech you're not using to its full potential? Customer list. Intellectual property. Then get creative.
I love that. Look at what you already have, but look at it with fresh eyes. Challenge those assumptions.
What you've been dismissing as waste might just be a gold mine waiting to be tapped.
This has been eye-opening, so much to think about.
It's all about leverage, getting more done with less effort, amplifying your impact, creating systems that let your business scale without you having to be everywhere at once.
Music to an entrepreneur's ears. Now, I know we've covered a ton of ground here, but we've got to talk about sales because Harmozi has built his businesses on powerful sales processes, and he drops some serious knowledge bombs in this video.
One of his biggest points is about equipping your salespeople with the resources they need to close deals.
Because it's not enough to just hire a bunch of charismatic people and hope for the best, right?
Yeah.
You've got to give them the tools and the training to actually succeed.
Absolutely. Content is king here. Blog posts, video testimonials, email templates, anything that addresses common questions and concerns.
So when a prospect hits them with an objection, they're not caught off guard. They've got a resource ready to go.
Exactly. It's about streamlining the process, removing those friction points.
And speaking of streamlining, he's all about unifying sales and advertising.
100%. They shouldn't be separate silos. They should work together seamlessly.
It's like a 1-2 punch. Advertising grabs their attention, generates leads, and then sales swoops in to seal the deal.
He argues that both departments are solving the same problem, helping customers make informed decisions.
It's about creating a cohesive customer journey, from that initial ad all the way through to the final purchase.
And when sales and advertising are aligned, you get better communication, you're more efficient, and guess what? More conversions.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about those conversions.
Now, even with all the best systems, the best team, there's one thing every entrepreneur has to make peace with: the unknown.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like just when you think you've got it all figured out, something new pops up.
He says the hardest work is often the work we don't even know how to do yet. It's about confronting those challenges that make you question everything, those moments where you feel totally out of your depth.
It's like being a beginner all over again, but the stakes are higher.
But here's the thing. That's where the magic happens. He uses this metaphor. A massive rock blocking a path, and on the other side, a fortune. The bigger the rock, the bigger the potential reward.
So you're saying we should actually be excited about those massive, daunting challenges.
Embrace them, because that's where you'll find the biggest breakthroughs, the biggest growth.
And when those challenges inevitably arise, what's his advice? How do we navigate those uncharted waters?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. Find mentors, talk to people who have been there, done that, never stop learning.
It's a constant evolution. And sometimes you just got to dive in and figure it out as you go.
Exactly. He even says the rate at which you learn is a form of intelligence.
So the faster you can adapt, the faster you can learn, the more successful you'll be.
It's about embracing the journey with all its ups and downs.
Because that's where the real growth happens, right?
Yeah.
When we push past our comfort zones and embrace the unknown.
Exactly. And that's what entrepreneurship is all about. It's about constantly pushing those limits, creating something new, something extraordinary.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the brilliant mind of Alex Harmozi. We've unpacked a ton of actionable advice today, from pricing and sales to team building and embracing the unknown.
We've covered it all.
We hope you're walking away feeling inspired, energized, and ready to take action.
Because remember, knowledge without action is just, well, it's just sawdust. Go out there, make it happen.